màn đêm buông lơi theo ánh lửa dần tàn, tình anh em ta theo ánh lửa tràn lan, tim ta đây còn khắc ghi bao nhiêu mối tình mặn.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người, tôi là Ngô Minh Khoa, voi vui vẻ của Hướng đạo Việt Nam tại Hoa Kỳ. Tối hôm nay chúng tôi xin nói chuyện, trước hết xin giới thiệu trưởng khoa Phạm của
em là Khoa Phạm, tên rừng là Lạc Đạo Thân Thiện.
Lạc Đạo Thân Thiện, yeah, sorry. Hey, trưởng Linda, Hải Âu chuyên cần.
Yes, hi. Em là Lê Bình Linda, Hải Âu chuyên cần.
Okay. Rồi chị Rosalie, tên rừng là gì vậy chị?
Chào tất cả quý vị, các em. Đây là trưởng Rosalie, tên rừng là Hoàng Yến Tận Tâm.
Hoàng Yến Tận Tâm. Yes. Okay.
Your camera, we see your ears.
Oh, I'm sorry. There you go.
Okay. So tối hôm nay chúng ta sẽ nói chuyện về character. Character, chí khí, nhân phẩm. Different ways of explaining character. Một trong những cái core value, những cái tôn chỉ của Hướng đạo Việt Nam là chúng ta một trong 4 cái core value là character is one of them. Okay, and có thể nói là nó là một cái core value chung của phong trào Hướng đạo. Khi mà Baden-Powell lập ra phong trào, cái điểm chính mà ông ta nói về Hướng đạo là để đào tạo cái chí khí, để create cái character, build cái character hay develop character trong các hướng đạo sinh, so that they become good citizen. Okay, so tối nay trước hết chúng ta sẽ define, các trường sẽ talk about cái definition of character. Character là gì? Và sau đó mình sẽ chuyển qua là why we talk about character. Okay, and then why is it important? Okay, tại sao nó quan trọng? Và cuối cùng mình sẽ go into how Hướng đạo Việt Nam develop character. Okay. So mấy trường nào mà when it's your turn, then unmute yourself. Otherwise, okay, let's see who's coming from. It looks like it's coming from Khoa. So when it's your turn to talk, I'm gonna unmute you. Okay, Khoa. Okay. So first thing, okay, what is character? Okay, thì ngày xưa mấy cụ nói là có nhiều cách để define character, cách làm người, nhân phẩm. Mấy tiền bối, mấy cụ ngày xưa nói là tam tổng tứ đức. Okay, so so who wants to go first? Okay, Trường Khoa, you want to go first, or Linda?
Yeah, I mean, cách làm người, I think it's a lost art, you know. Tại vì I don't know, like có thể là tại vì gia đình của em á, I grew up in a family full of elders. You know, my mom was 40 when she had me, you know. So a lot of những gì mà Trưởng Khoa để ở đây á là em nghe hàng ngày, you know, especially from my grandma and everything. You know, always they say like con đi học á là để mà biết cách làm người. That's always, you know, that was the standard, you know, what I hear. Tại vì my grandma said like, you know, đâu sinh ra đâu có ai biết làm cái gì đâu. You know, you don't know anything, you're a blank slate. So khi mà gia đình giáo dục and mình đi học, mình đi mấy cái activity á là mình học cái cách để mà làm người, you know, simple things like giống như làm sao cư xử với người với nhau, you know. And you know, as you know, when I interact with my friends who are my same age, you know, sometimes when I say these things, you know, they're like, you sound like an old lady, Linda, you know. Just like, I don't know, you know, that's how my family, you know, say these things, you know. So I think it's a lost art because, you know, in the Western society, they concentrate more on achievement, you know, cứ tối ngày đi học để mà làm tiền, làm giống như là một cái địa vị trong xã hội, you know. And I think in a way it's good, in a way it's bad because mình kind of lose cái sắc thái của người Á Đông. Because I think you know, người Á Đông của mình nó dạy cách làm người rất là hay. You know, I feel very blessed to you know, learn it from my grandma, I guess. Yeah.
You know, so I just got off a business meeting. And it's really funny because we're talking about người Việt có cái nghĩa với cái tình, right? Tình với cái nghĩa, right? And so when we do business với Mỹ, it's rất là structure, right? Processes, system. It's very cold, right? So when we talk about character, for me anyway, it's a more consciousness, right? We're helping a child to find their moral consciousness. Right. I think character, everybody has a character, either good character or bad character, weak character, strong character. I think character in general, we all have it because it's a human trait. It's a trait. It's your personality. But how do we develop somebody to have good character? Right. And I think that's the question, right? And I believe that HDVN with the 13 method, it guides you into become a good person. That's the whole goal, right? And so our goal is to create good character development in a child at a young age. It's a lot easier to do as an adult, right? And so cái Vietnamese tradition, người Việt có tradition, cái tình cái nghĩa, right? Cái lễ, cái độ, right? And those are certain moral character that lack in the modern society. Không có cái lễ độ, đi về không có thư gửi, right? And so for me, cái character trong hướng đạo á, là nó gọi Khoa là anh Khoa, right? Nó vẫn mời ăn, right? Lúc mà nấu ăn trong hướng đạo, trong trại, đi trại á, nó mời trưởng ăn. Nhiều người nói cái đó không có tốt, right? Mình lớn mình có thể đi lấy đồ ăn của mình được, right? Nhưng mà người Việt nó có cái lễ, đúng không? So yes, mấy em ăn trước hết, but đồ trưởng nhất vẫn make sure là trưởng cũng ăn. Because I would say I won't eat unless they do that, because I'm teaching them a characteristic của người Việt, đúng không? Cái lễ, right? So when they go home to their parent, nó mời bố mẹ ăn cơm, right?
Tiền học lễ hậu học văn, right?
Yeah. You know, it's funny you said that. Khoa, có nhiều khi when I'm working, when I did the HOA, I had to translate in Vietnamese a lot, and all of my coworkers tell me, Linda, you're so much more polite when you speak Vietnamese. You're so much more nicer, and I'm like, yeah, my culture, we speak nice.
Yeah, well, we're not that nice, but có cái lễ, right? And hướng đạo Việt Nam á, Khoa make sure là mấy em á, lúc đi trại á, giữ cái lễ của người lớn, right? Và mấy em nó biết cái chỗ nó cái boundary of respect where they at, right? And yeah, so we reinforce that when we go camping a lot about cái lễ của người Việt. Right?
Okay, chị Rosalie.
Dạ. Theo em á, thì cái mà mình define á, cái nghĩa của cái cách làm người á, thì em thấy nó có liên hệ tới giáo dục, học hỏi ra đời với cái tánh tình. Ok, so sao mà mình develop mấy cái đó, đi đầu tiên á, là giáo dục. Tất nhiên là em nghĩ mấy em á, tùy theo mỗi gia đình giáo dục con em như thế nào. Ok. And cái chương trình hướng đạo này nó có thể các em nó có thể rèn luyện thêm mỗi cái giáo dục của mỗi gia đình nó khác nhau, nhưng mà nếu mà nó đi hướng đạo á, thì nó đi theo cái khuôn khổ và phương pháp, nó có cái mình nó kêu là nó có cái routine, nó phải học hỏi những cái điều mà nó phải làm. Nếu mà nó vô đây nó phải expect là phải vâng lời mấy trưởng hay học hỏi theo mấy trưởng để nó ra đời và nó biết phải làm cái gì, nó tự lo cho nó, phải không anh? Tánh tình thì ở trong đây mình mỗi em nó có một tánh khác nhau, thì nó vô trong đây nó phải rèn luyện, nó coi những cái tánh tình của, tại vì em thấy cái character này nó so quan trọng, không biết là mình có nói đúng vô trong đó không qua hả?
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
Đúng, chị nói đúng rồi.
Thí dụ như mấy em nó nhiều, mỗi đứa một tánh khác nhau, nhưng mà khi nó vô hướng đạo nó sẽ rèn luyện cho nó để biết how to handle and learn how to giúp cho các em nhỏ, các em lớn, những người lớn phải respect như thế nào. Thì em thấy cái này nó rất là quan trọng để sau này các em nó lớn lên, nó làm thành một người tốt. Một người tốt thế nào là thành một người tốt, thế nào là để mình rèn luyện để cho các em nó có thể nó học hỏi để nó thành better person. Okay. Yeah.
I heard Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger có một lần có người phỏng vấn, right, and asked them what's the difference between someone who succeeds and someone who doesn't succeed as much. Thì Sylvester Stallone thì mình nghĩ là ông ta là một người of average intelligence, but he's a very successful person. Khi người ta hỏi là mình nghĩ như vậy ha, thì ông trả lời như này là ông nói là the difference between cái người mà succeed a lot và người mà không succeed nhiều á is the ability to withstand pain. Thì ông nói như vậy là họ tập hay là họ chuẩn bị, là họ gặp những cái khó khăn đó, and there's pain or stress that's stopping you, and they have the willpower or the control, the self-control to keep going. Now, ví dụ là như ông Arnold Schwarzenegger là he work out, right? So it's very tiring. Hay là ngày nào cũng phải đi work out 2 lần, 3 lần, right? And he become Mr. Olympia, right? Hình như thời 70 á. Rồi về sau như là cái ability đó, cái will hay là cái self-control mà he học được, he applied to many different things. Right? He became an actor, became a governor. Right? Who could believe? Hồi ngày xưa coi người mà pop weight như vậy mà become the governor of California, right? Okay, so that's one definition. Okay, so another definition là có nhiều chuyện hướng đạo thì talk about character is theo hướng đạo thì là lời hứa và 10 điều luật. Okay, so lời hứa và 10 điều luật. Okay, so mấy chuyện nghĩ sao about this one?
Không, cái đó rất đúng. Tại vì cái character này nó cũng train cho mình control được những cái mà ví dụ như khi mình bị stress hay mấy em nó làm cho mình giận hay gì, mình có thể mình learn how to các em sao mà mình train cho nó develop, giống như là nó how to handle the stress, những cái nó gặp khó khăn nó phải làm sao. Yeah.
Okay, so I nghĩ là two different things, right? How to teach a child to have good character versus what is character, right? I think we kind of mix it around, right? So character is pretty much is a person's characteristic, right? Nhưng mà how to do it, I think hướng tại Việt Nam we have this method, right? Which is 3 lời hứa or 1 lời hứa 10 điều luật, right? And so I think these are how to achieve good character, right? And yeah, we agree that the whole principle.
How to achieve. I think it's also a benchmark. Nó là một cái clear definition, right? To help everybody. Okay, nếu mà mình achieve được những cái này, rồi đấy chị Rosie cũng kind of mention about it là nghĩa là mình phải lễ độ, right? Mình có bổn phận, mình vâng lời, right? Some of the things that Rosie talk about.
Well, nhưng mà cái 3 lời hứa với cái 10 điều luật này á, right? Every hội đoàn thiếu nhi đều có something similar.
Well, they need it because mấy em đang học mà, you know, mình phải có cái gì cho mấy em học, cho nên 3 lời hứa 10 điều.
The distinguished difference between hướng đạo Việt Nam and other hội, right? I'm trying to talk the difference here, right? Is we focus a lot on Vietnamese identity and Vietnamese characteristic. Đúng không? So cái 3 lời hứa này với, I mean, I don't know which one to say, 3 lời hứa, 1 lời hứa, right? And 10 điều luật. It's pretty much common between most youth organization. Người Mỹ cũng kind of similar, người Ấn Độ cũng kind of similar, right? It's a scout, long scout oath, right? Cái điều luật của hướng đạo, right? And so cái này rất là standard. Nhưng mà mình để cái flair, cái taste của người Việt Nam when we dùng cái method để dạy mấy em to develop the character.
Okay, that's fine.
Lời hứa and the luật is how the child develop a good character.
Thì trong cái segment đầu tiên của cái show tối nay là mình chỉ define what character is, okay? Thì I think that's good enough. Mình talk about những cái nhân phẩm, mình talk about the will, the self-control, right? Tại vì some people say character is what you do when no one's watching. Nghĩa là không ai keep mình hold. Can you keep yourself accountable? right? Can you keep going? Nhưng không có người thúc đẩy mình, right? Something like that. So let's move on now. So let's talk about the next question. Why should we develop character? Okay. So let's start with Linda on this one. I'm going to mute you because it's kind of noisy over there. Okay, go ahead, Linda.
Why should we? Well, I think character is needed for balance, you know, and for a kid to understand who they are, you know, because you know, có rất là nhiều em á, khi mà nó mới tới đoàn á, their personality is everywhere, okay, and they need the character developed. Give me like EQ, the emotional intelligence, right? Thì nói chung á là, how do I say this? I don't know how to say it. We should develop character because it's actually the hardest thing to develop. If that makes sense, okay? It's the hardest thing to develop. Tại vì bây giờ dắt một em vô trường á, they will get a grade. I can measure how much math he's learning, how much reading he's learning. I can measure that, you know? But cái character nó khác, tại vì nó là cái nhân phẩm. You know, it's the expression of a kid and how they're going to grow up to be a human being later on in life. So cái emotional EQ nó không có cái scale, you know.
It's not easy to measure.
It's not easy to master. So we need to develop it because it's the hardest thing to develop, and that's the reason why I think a lot of hội đoàn and even school không có làm EQ nữa. If you notice. Even in the American
it's like you can't teach EQ on a standardized test.
No,
right?
You cannot. And that's the problem. Everybody's basing everything on standard worksheets and you know, achievement. And the emotional EQ is very needed because có một em có thể rất là giỏi về you know, winning stuff, you know, they're A student and stuff like that. But at the same time, they can have a very bad character. You know, in life, they can be a very bad boss. They can be the most genius person in the world. I've worked with a lot of genius in my life, and I can tell you they have very bad manner, you know. So cái nhân phẩm của họ không có, nhưng mà họ rất là thông minh. Okay, I have to say they're genius. They really are genius, but that doesn't mean they're a good human. You know what I mean? So mình muốn là cái character development là nó balance. Okay, em vừa có, nếu như em vừa có học hành tốt, okay, em sau này em sẽ thành công, but at the same time em phải biết cách làm người. You can't just be, you know, a terrible person, you know. So what's the point of you know, achieving so much when everybody hate you or when you don't contribute anything to society? You know, that's how I see the importance of character development. You know.
Can I interject? You're saying that we can't measure character. I'm just curious, right? Can we measure character by how many friends we have?
No, you cannot.
Why not? Because emotional EQ is about getting along with other people, right? Okay. If we get along with a lot of people, wouldn't that mean that we have good character?
For instance, okay, like Christy.
That's incomplete. That's incomplete.
Yeah, that's incomplete. That's social media.
Saying unit of measurement, right? What's the point of having good character, right? It's you can work together with other people that respect and like you, right?
Yeah, nhưng mà đúng rồi, nhưng mà nó chưa có đủ.
But you have to be achieved. Character development is for you, okay? You as a human being. If you look outward and measure that by having how many friends, that's not character development either. Character development is like
No. I didn't say character development. I said have good characters. What are you developing to have a bad character? I'm talking about once you achieve good character, your unit measure is how well you get along with everybody around you. If you have good character, wouldn't people naturally want to be near you?
I don't perceive good character as that way. Good character is for you first, okay? You have to be a good person overall for you, and then it'll project out.
Okay, and unit of measure is the end result, right? So
no, you can't
the unit of measure for a good character is
okay. I know you're an engineer by heart. There's something you can't measure, okay? Just because you have a lot of friends doesn't mean that friend really like you. They're just not telling you they don't like you.
That's a different story,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
But if you manage to corral, say, hundreds of people, to do something that nearly impossible to do, like go to the moon. Okay, back in the 70s, 60s. Okay, thousands of people support that because of a characteristic of a person. Okay, he is not a scientist. He has very good character, very good charisma. Okay, and people believe in him, and therefore thousands people work to bring a human to the moon.
That okay? You're talking
Okay.
about two different things. Okay?
No.
Two
Hold
different
on. But
things.
let's backtrack. The idea of teaching children to be have good character. What are we doing that for? Let's ask that question first. What are we doing that for?
For them to be
So,
good
To
humans.
be good, but how do you?
Okay,
And
so
for them to
they
not-
become they can serve the basically the community. They become good citizens. They become good leaders. Okay, it's a foundation for success.
That's right.
It's
That's right.
Mhm.
So it's not just for us, right? A monk where you go meditate, you don't bother anybody. That's for us, right? But the idea for Scout was to raise them to become leader in society when we need them, when society needs them. Good citizenship.
Okay, yes and no. Yes and no. Okay. You have to develop a solid person. This person has to be solid. Okay. You can't just say, oh, you can do this, you're great, everybody like you. This is not like, how do I say this? It's like you're looking for growth too fast, and it can crash. A character development is overall well-rounded and you're solid. Okay. Yes,
But
the end goal is to be a good person, all this other stuff, right?
So to be solid, but if you cannot work around with other people, right? If you can't work with anybody and you'll have a good character, right, and be solid, does that make sense?
Well, I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
No, I hear what you're saying. You're
you're-
thinking it's just from within, but I challenge that because I think the whole idea to do some of these is to help society.
No,
Right?
because, okay, yes and no.
Well-
okay, depending on what you think. There are some.
Okay, hold on a second. Để
Okay.
cho Trường Rosalie talk.
Oh, okay, yeah.
well, theo như mình nghĩ ra đó thì mình phải đi trở lại why we wanted to list a good character. Okay, so I agree with Linda. In order to accomplish or develop and find out why are we huấn luyện mấy em để thành người good character, thì in order to that they have to balance. They have to know who they are, and once they find the boundary, what qualities they have to have human touch. Khi mà they biết cách cư xử, okay, biết cách cư xử, and then from there, then when they lottery scout, they say, oh, I'm very smart, I make good grade, I'm I have money, my family rich, but they don't have that character. So what we're trying to redirect them is to say, to become a good scout, you have the good character. So what that means is, they gotta put themselves down, and they have to try to learn who they are, and then to how to become then it's going to be, if you want to be a leader, then you're going to have to help other, and then biết cách cư xử và help những cái em khác. Cái đó là cái mà mình thấy, tại nhiều em hướng đạo á, nó vô á, nó ăn nó uống, hay là những cái mà cách mà nó mấy tháng đầu á, nó không có biết character nó nó không biết nó là ai hết, nó cứ muốn vô, I just have fun and I do what I want, okay, but we have boundary, we have a structure, you have to, that's how we form them to become a good leader. To become a good leader, you have to be a good character. That is very important.
Okay,
Foundation.
so I'm not gonna have. So when I was younger, I was told that I have no character. Okay, many times, not just one time. Khoa Phạm does not have character. Okay, and then I sit there logic to myself and say, wait a minute, that is my character. Okay, because the word characteristic, right? Characteristic is who I am. If I'm a chameleon, if I can be one day an engineer, right, and one day, a guy who go and do things that he's not supposed to do, okay, that's still me. The question was, do I have a good character? Everybody has a character. We're born, we have a character. Okay, that's the definition of a character: is whoever you are, that's your character, that's your trait. Okay, the question is your character a good character? And how do you achieve a child to be having a good character? And how do you recognize that child to have good character? Right? What's the recognition, right? How do you measure a good character? We can't overlap things, right? Because human born will have a character as soon as they learn how to speak, read, write. Matter of fact, before that, they already have some sort of characteristic. Okay, a personality, right? When we develop a child to have good character, we use the Scott Law, Scott O, but we have to understand what we use it for. Yes, it's for themselves.
That's what
it's for themselves, but it's also for other people around them, a society, right? A good citizen, right? So the question is, right? How you define a character is totally different than does a child have character, or is it good enough character, or is it the best character that child can have when they become an adult? Right?
Okay, what I experience is different. Is that, like, you're right? Every child has character. Okay, I agree. The problem is they don't know they have character. That's you understand? Look at character. You might not, they're kid, they just want to play and all this other stuff. They don't see that as character, and they don't see how this is bad, this is good.
But over time, Linda and Linda, over time, Quiet and Linda, the kid gonna learn and they're gonna develop. We're not gonna expect them 12 years old, 11 years old is gonna have a good character. Okay, that's why I say they're gonna learn to develop human touch, emotional intelligence, just like what those bullet points right there is. Give them room to develop. You're not gonna expect them and look at them.
Okay, I think we kind of we discussed this point enough. Why should we develop character? Let me just say a few words, and we're going to move on to how, right? How we do it. Okay, so one of the things in the general trend in society, like in the last 2-3 decades, we've been focusing on STEM, right? We hear STEM: science, technology, engineering, math. Okay, but the danger, okay, that I see, we're pushing all our children toward this technology stuff, but AI is also coming, okay, and AI is replacing a lot of these positions. Okay, so like if you go and be a doctor, a radiologist, well, guess what? The AI program does a better job than the radiologists do at reading films. Okay, so a good doctor can remember 10,000. He can recall 10,000 sets of film in his mind, but a computer has with the camera can see more shades of gray and can recall millions of cases. Right?
So I know where you're going to, but let me close it out because I study AI a lot. So in a programming world, right, each program, actually the term we use is create a characteristic for that program. Okay, so AI, even AI, different AI has different functionality, which means it's different characteristic of what they're charged to do. Right? So the word character is a trait, right? Do you agree? It's a human trait or computer?
Well, no. Trait? I think we're mixing. There's multiple definition of character, and then you're talking about character as characteristic, and we're talking about character here as something a little different. Okay, là nếu mà mình dùng những cái term khác á, là cách làm người, hay là nhân phẩm.
Okay, right? Tiếng Việt. Yes,
tiếng Việt.
I'm going to the word character as in psychology, the SR11 definition of characteristic, which is a human trait.
Right, traits. Yeah.
Right.
But I think it's not that you can say it developed good traits, good character.
Yes, right.
But I'm talking about the person, and I think what do you think of a person who has good character? Like, who do you think of? Right? Who let's just talk about examples. Okay, who do you admire? Who do you think has good character?
Yeah, I'm selfish, so you know, I think my Scoutmaster is a pretty good character,
Okay.
right? My old Scoutmaster in San Diego, but that because he was always been my role model, right? So yeah, I think he has a pretty good characteristic.
Right. So did he have emotional intelligence?
Nah, sometimes you can say he has lack of emotional intelligence.
I don't
in
think
certain
so.
aspects.
I know him, and I think he's very high in emotional intelligence. Right?
Yes,
Does he have
I
the
think
human
he does.
touch? I think absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
And he's a great leader. Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, and he gives you guys a foundation. He has a good foundation, and he give you guys a good foundation.
Yeah, he did. But again, I guess my definition of character in English is different than Vietnamese, right? So cái character, like from education, it's just human behavior and trait, right? And you want to develop good character. Mình Việt Nam á, nó rất là more toward it, right? You agree? Tiếng Việt với tiếng Mỹ sometimes không có dịch được.
I prefer the Vietnamese characteristic version. Like you say, you can't define what nó không có translate được, you know, and that's why I'm trying to say cái mô phỏng đó you can't measure.
Yeah, just use more words, right? Just basically, nếu mà cái chữ đó không có clear enough, then we just need to clarify with more words. Use a sentence, right? So that's why I say, okay, what is character? Character is what people do when no one's watching, right? So what they're talking about, are you a good character or a bad character, right? When no one's watching, if you're a bad person, you're gonna do things that that you shouldn't do, right? Or it's not good for you. If you're a good character, when no one's watching, you're still going to do things that are good, right? So one way to measure character, actually, okay? So they do have exercises to measure.
That's right, exactly.
Okay, fine.
Right?
We have many tests to determine good. In the military, we took psych op tests just to make sure that we're not crazy. Yeah, before we do a mission. So yes, there is.
Okay, so like the Celtics, right? They have a saying: you don't give a sword to a man who doesn't dance. Okay, that's a definition of character. Okay, you don't give a sword to like why you say a crazy guy. When he mentioned, I remember that. So you only trust the gentle people with the sword. Okay, so that when you need them to come to defend you, they will do it. They will still do it, right? But they're gentle, okay? And when they're strong when they need to be, and they're gentle most of the time.
Yeah. So yeah, in our world, in corporate or militaries or whatnot, in reality, we do have a unit measure for good characteristic. What we don't have, right, is cái người Việt trait, cái lễ, cái độ tình, cái nghĩa. Okay, we actually lack that in American education. Right, that is also a character trait, right?
Sure.
Cái nghĩa, cái tình, right? But we actually lack that in a current modern education system, and that's why we kind of, all of us here promoting Hướng Đạo Việt Nam for that reason, right? Is to instill that Vietnamese characteristic trait into.
Well,
right?
I think because in America, họ không có cái
Okay.
không có cái
Let's move on. Let's move on. I think we beat that horse to death. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so we talk about what is character. Okay, cái nhân phẩm là cái gì, right? So, what is good character in a person? Why is it desirable? Tại sao mình muốn đào tạo những cái chí khí, right? That's another way to put it. Right? Cái nhân phẩm, good characteristic ở trong các em hướng đạo sinh. Okay, so how do we do it? How does Hướng Đạo Việt Nam do it? Okay, so what I see là I kind of go back to what Sylvester Stallone said, right? So how much stress can you handle? Okay, it develops character. Okay, will your self-control, doing things when no one tells you to do it, doing things when it's like you just want to go home and sleep, but you go up and do it, right? Things like that. So stress, one way to put it is the stress. Sylvester Stallone said the pain, right? I was gonna say the stress. So I say that's you stress the Hướng Đạo Sinh from the environment, the outside environment, the external environment. You put them in an environment he will not experience stress, okay? And they have to basically get stronger. Lúc đầu they get uncomfortable, right? But they get stronger. And then stress from other people, from the relationship. Okay, because you can get stressed, mấy người mà đi làm and get a bad boss or a bad co-worker, they get stressed out, right? So in Hướng Đạo Việt Nam, it's the same thing. You put them in an environment where they have to deal with other Hướng Đạo sinh, okay? And then finally, like internal stress, right? When you face certain stressful situation, you have to go inside and say, what am I going to do? Okay, can I keep going on this hike? Right, there's another 5 miles, and we've been 10 miles, and I'm tired. My feet are aching. Can I keep going? Okay, or một cái situation, Ben Powell kể câu chuyện, right? He was standing on top of the cliff, and all the boys wanted to jump off, right? Khoa told me this story, right? So this is the stress that he faced, right? He's afraid. Well, he's afraid to jump off, but he has to talk to himself and decide, does he jump or not jump? Okay, so mấy trưởng comment đi. So this is how Hướng Đạo Việt Nam developed character.
And then everybody else can finish this way. So stress is pretty important to us. I mean, I monitor stress level very highly with all the youth. So there's 3 level. First is a comfort level. They stay home, they play video game or whatnot, hang out at home. Mom and dad cook for them. Comfort.
That doesn't build character.
Well, I'm just saying that there's 3 level of development, right? The first is called comfort. Second is stress. The third is trauma. Everything we do with a child, we monitor that stage. Okay? If they're comfortable, we're not doing our job, right? If they're stressed, we're doing our job. If it's trauma, we're not doing their job. So trauma is when they weren't stressed, but it became it became not productive. It became, something that we don't want ever a child to get into, a trauma stage, right? Or an adult, matter of fact, to get into trauma. Even at work, I make sure all the employees don't get to trauma stage. But we do put them to certain stress, and then we let them recover, go back to comfort. So the first part is very important. It's recovery part, right? So you put them in stress, then you back them to comfort. You put them in stress, you back in comfort, and then they get strong and strong. And the stress level get bigger and bigger and bigger. They can handle more stress in the future.
Oh, okay. What you're talking now is you're talking theory. Okay, so let's just tell a little story about how we practice. Like, let's talk about the hiking trip.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I say. So hiking is very simple for us. We do that at pretty much every camp, right? So we do what's called night hike, okay, with no flashlight. It's not that hard. Trust me, it's pretty easy. It's just the fact that at first we might do just 15-minute night hike with no flashlight, okay? And then it gradually increase to half an hour, to an hour, to 2 hours, 3 hours, to the point where it's a point now of kid when they go camping, they can set up tent, cook without flashlight. And they don't live afraid of the dark anymore, right? Because their tolerance for darkness disappear because they've been indoctrinated slowly into a night hike. Mm-hmm. Same thing with a day hike. We start out very low, maybe 15-minute hike, half an hour hike, and then increase. And next thing you know, they're doing 21 miles, right? Even an 8-year-old can do 10 miles. Why? Because we practice, we train them slowly to increase their tolerance, their stress levels on the physical fitness, which is
we use repetition.
Yes.
Right? We use repetition. We introduce them to a moderate level of stress, that 1 hour hike, right? And then next time it's 2 hour, right? Because they say, oh, 1 hour is too easy, right? Mm-hmm. So they want a challenge. So you increase it. And then 3 hour, 4 hour, right? Mm-hmm. And soon they can do a 20-mile hike.
Yeah. And then 25 miles by high school.
But if you take them out on the first trip and you send them on a 20-mile hike, that will be trauma.
Right? Yes.
But if you increase it slowly, right? Then eventually it develops their character. Okay.
That's right.
How we do it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, we're sắp sửa làm một cái huấn luyện trưởng. Yeah, I should have talked about that in the beginning. I forgot. Put a little plug in for the huấn luyện trưởng June 5th. And we're going to be training a lot of these methods, right? And so các trưởng nha, mấy trưởng mà sợ hay các người nào mà muốn volunteer làm trưởng, but they're afraid that they don't have the skills. Don't worry about it, right? Hướng Đạo Việt Nam, we have the methods and the methodology. You can't fail. You follow the methods, okay? You will succeed because it's the system that develops the character. We không có depend on the individual to be like master character builder. Okay, that's not it. Okay, you take them outdoor, their character will get stronger. You try to make sure you expose them to the right level of stress. That's all. That's your main job. Okay. Not too little
so
stress, right? Because they get bored, right? That means they're not growing. Too much stress is not good because they will shut down. Okay. So that's it. Anybody want to comment before we go to the second bullet?
So Khoa nói là ok, đào tạo chí khí, nhân phẩm, trong đó nó nằm trong development. Nhưng mà chị nghĩ là hướng đạo Việt Nam mình khó khăn coi thường không? Nếu mà mình hát được cái câu đó thì it's okay.
Nhưng mà không phải tự nhiên nha. Không phải tự nhiên mà khó khăn coi thường nha.
Mình
cái
phải
job
huấn
của
luyện.
các trưởng là phải huấn luyện tụi nó.
Huấn luyện đến đó.
Yeah.
Đúng rồi.
Từ từ. It's not
Đúng
like
rồi.
yeah, when they first come in, khó khăn là tụi nó quay đầu nó chạy. Okay.
Yeah. Lúc
Nhưng mà
đó
nếu
là
mà
nó
nói khó khăn coi thường á,
Mm-hmm.
mấy trưởng á phải go to the next phase too.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Cái câu thứ hai là gì? Right? Khó khăn coi thường. And then you have to lead. Right? After that you got to lead.
Yeah.
Right? And so the song the second part is to lead too, right? We not worry about hardship, but the second part we have to lead. Đúc things soi đường. Đúng không?
Yeah.
So we have to shine a light and lead. So it go hand in hand. Mình khó khăn for a reason, so that we can lead a child into a better place. Right? The song mean a lot to me when I was younger. Nhưng mà again, we go back to the stress. Cái stress này không phải là negative stress nha. Cái này là positive stress for the child. Okay, so
you're
that's all I have to say.
I just want to say stress on a soi con and chim non level. So soi con and chim non is always stress because they're
especially for the leaders.
they're not really for the leader if you're used to it, but giống như là không có phụ huynh ở đó nhiều á, they do get stressed in a different level, you know.
Yeah.
So always I have like if the phụ huynh can stay in the background and họ thấy cha mẹ đằng sau, they get less stress, you know. They have different stress level, you know.
They have fear of abandonment.
Yeah, they don't want to feel abandoned, you know, depending on the age. Giống như là cỡ 6 tuổi, 7 tuổi á, you want to have the parent around, okay? Cỡ 8, 9, 10 á, okay, ba mẹ đi. Yeah, you know. So but the one thing I did do at camp, in a camp environment mà có cho con với chim non is that we make them cook with us, you know. So các trưởng Ấu á, thì the main chef, but we let the sói con and chim non dùng dao, giống như dạy cách dùng dao, dạy cách sắc, you know. And it's stressful for them at the beginning, tại vì ở nhà chưa bao giờ làm, you know, but once they hit that carrot the first time, you know, the excitement in their eye, you know. So for chim non and sói con á, là tuy là mình cho nó stress nhưng mà mình phải kèm theo, mình phải làm chung với chim non với sói con nữa để nó thấy là vẫn có người đằng sau ủng hộ nó, you know. So it's a different mentality, you know. Yeah, mother hen.
It's the appropriate level of stress.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Okay, next bullet point. Okay, stress from other people. So in hướng đạo Việt Nam, we call this the patrol system. Okay, cái phương pháp hàng đội. Right? When you go on camp and you put them into patrols, you divide them into groups, and you say, okay, we're going to go to camp, right? And you guys have to figure out where you're going to sleep, what you're going to eat, okay? How you prepare for the activities. Then when you go fishing, you have to be ready, right? And then you guys figure it out, right? You know, when we say, okay, we teach them, right? But we say, so you're going to bring the tent, you're going to bring pots and pans, you're going to bring the food, right? And so on, okay? So they got stress, right? When they go home, they go, oh my God, I got mom, dad, I got to go buy food, right? So for the first time in their life, they go to the grocery store and buy up everything in sight, right? Because they want to make sure that their patrol members don't go hungry, okay? That is stress, right? Because, you know, what are they worried about? They're worried that they don't bring food to the camp and the other boys all look at them and say, why did you not bring the food, okay? That is stress. That's even more stress, right? So the interaction, right, between the scouts, between the Hung Đạo Sinh, okay, it builds character. Now, this is a different kind of stress interaction, right? This is where the human touch comes. Okay, so anybody want to comment on this?
No,
I agree with that.
Yeah,
the people stress is patrol method. That's so true because, you know, they don't live with these people. They don't see them on the weekend for camp. Okay, the stress level when you meet new people and have to get something done, yeah, it's quite stressful. But again, it's at the beginning một cái đoàn mới á, right? Mấy em chưa có thân mật với nhau, so nó không có deal with stress of people very well. They shut off, right? So this is where we always ask parents, at the beginning, it's always like that. But once nó là bạn với nhau á, once they all suffer the physical stress, the environmental stress together, the next camp, the people stress it, they have that little bond, right? And then after that, the only stress they have is not with each other anymore, is with me, with Joe, because we always have more expectation for them every camp.
We introduce stress.
Yeah, we introduce new stress for them. So once they get used to their patrol stress, once they became friends, they're gonna gang up on messing with us, right? And so you can see that development is really cute because, you know, camp đầu tiên, camp 2 thứ 3 nó vẫn chưa có thân mật, camp thứ 4 thứ 5 thân nó bắt đầu nó phá mình, right? And then mình phải phá nó lại.
They know everything already. That's why.
Yeah. So
they get bored. They're beginning to get bored. So
because they know each other, right? And so when the parent on a new when you bring your kid, you have to be patient. They have to make friends, and it's our job to make sure they make friends. There's 20 kids in the group. I'm sure they're gonna find 2 of them gonna be the best friend for life. Okay, I just went back from a 30-year reunion, and I missed my best friend. When I left to the Army, he went to the Navy, we lost touch, right? And we ran together, and we talked about way that, you know, him and I would only want to do the physical stuff, right? And so, once you create a friend, right, it's for life, even though we're not together, right?
Yeah. And when you give them time to make friends. Picking flowers, you know how close they are.
Right? And so, it's you know, but we haven't seen each other in 30 years, right? He joined the Navy and I joined the Army, right? And so the point I'm making is that parent, you got to be patient. They will find their friend inside an organization of 20 kids.
Well,
right?
I will say this. I've had parent who cho sinh hoạt quá trễ. Em đó đã like 15, 16 tuổi rồi. You know, they're teenage, okay? It is very difficult to get that bonding at that age, okay? So nếu như phụ huynh nào mà nghe đó, try to cho con em mình tập sinh hoạt at an early age, because không phải là làm không được, nhưng mà the level of stress and it's much harder. So
Như Hương came in when she was like 18 years old, right? And we do have people that came in when they're later. Like I think V came in when she was 17 years old, right?
Okay,
in our group.
That's okay. That's your age and my age. That's different. That's like, you just came to America. You're just looking for somebody who's also Vietnamese as you. Okay, you're gonna bond automatically. I've had autistic kids. I've got kids who just want to read a book. That's all he want to do. He refused to go to the activity. He just sit under a tree and read a book.
Yeah. And we have autistic children too, and you know who their friends are? Us.
Yeah, but you're getting it at a younger age. I'm saying when you get it at 14 and 15, it's very hard. That's all I'm saying,
No, it is.
Khoa với ông, Khoa với Linda, chị chắc có lẽ là cái người đầu tiên mà nữ làm trong cái troop. Tại vì chị có kinh nghiệm rất là nhiều, là chị thấy là thường là trưởng nam, nhưng mà chị là làm trưởng nữ cũng rất là lâu trong Liên đoàn đất Việt. Chị thấy rất là thương mấy em và chị blend in very good. I love them. I just love them because cái tuổi mà từ 11 từ 12 tới 17 tuổi, cái tuổi đó tụi nó rất là dễ thương và nó rất là opening. If they can find somebody to talk to, okay? Tại vì ở nhà thường mẹ nó không có nói chuyện nhiều đâu, nó rất là isolated in the room. They kind of hard to open. But I find out that when I go to camping with those boys, they are my friend. They are fun, and I seem like I understand more. And then a lot of parents just say, well, can you talk to them and find out, what happened? Why did he go home? And he just shut the door. He didn't even talk to me. But I find out they talk a lot at the camp, a lot. They share with me everything. So cái tuổi mà mấy em mà nó đi ở trong thiếu đoàn á, cái tuổi đó là mấy em, chị nghĩ là mấy em không có stress, mấy em rất là relax. They try to get out and relax themselves. The stress I find out that maybe they're trying to learn and develop how to plan their camp be better. But they can learn as they go. But once they go camping, they love it. They love to get away, outdoor, away from the family and everything, and be with trưởng, be cooking themselves and be playing everything themselves. Do you agree, Khoa?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. For stress with people, yeah. But the last one is I think it's a big deal for me because I'm a parent. I have a teenager, right?
Yeah.
Stress from within yourself. So we just got back from a reunion in San Diego, and other, we all my friend Scout brother and sister have a similar issue with our children, right? So we found out. I mean, I'm a new parent, not like Quang O, and you guys have older children, right? And all my age group, we all have younger children, and the teenager going through a huge finding within themselves. They have physical hormone change stress. They have environmental stress. They have a COVID, Zoom, kind of virtual reality friend stress. So they have quite a bit of stress that create, somewhat of an anxiety within themselves, right? Even my children, right? Minors, but still exist. We pay attention to those.
So what are the symptoms, right, of anxiety in children? Like, anxiety, they get the heartbeat really fast. They have trouble breathing, right?
Yeah, they shake when they do something wrong. They're so angry. Sometimes they shake, right? So and sometimes they go like that, right? When they feel scared, right?
It's really true anxiety.
Yeah, it's anxiety. So it manifests to a physical aspect.
Yeah, so we're seeing. So basically, what we're seeing is it happening more and more.
That's
maybe in this generation for some reason.
Yeah.
Right? And then maybe we can speculate, right? Was it the shutdown, right? The pandemic shutdown? Did it affect them? Perhaps, right? Was it the interaction with all the virtual environment? Right? Where they disconnected and they lack the human touch. Right? They lack the human interaction with their friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
The social interaction.
Yeah. So stress from within yourself, it's a dilemma that I think a lot of parents like myself worry about. We spent a lot of time talking about that particular subject over the reunion. And, it all come back down to, we have to expose our children to a certain environment that reduce those anxieties. Friend, right? People that help them control the anxiety as well, right? Người ta ở Việt Nam nói là gần mực thì đen, gần đèn thì sáng, right? And so we make sure that they surround with good friends, not just virtual friends, right? With good, real friends. And that's the bullet before, with other people, stress with other people. And we think that if you balance out the different type of stress for a child, right, they won't blame themselves for that particular stress. Stress from within yourself. Right?
Yeah, so next weekend, we're going to talk about another core value của HDVN, spirituality. Right? So we're going to touch on it a little bit as we close this podcast out tonight. So so one of the things, this is my observation, right? And so you can say it's speculation. A human consists of four different phases, different dimension. Your mental, your emotional, your physical, and your spiritual. Right? So I'm guessing that these children are because they're always using these devices, these smart devices, communicating through Zoom. So it's mostly mental stimulation. And then they also get emotional stimulation from the apps and the connection with their friends. I think in a artificial or unnatural or a little bit, because the people that design those apps, they design it a certain way. Okay, they want you to be addicted to the app. They want more and more people to use and spend more time on the app. Okay, so there's some unconscious things like a lot of the young girls have the issue where they're always looking for likes. Right, they do something and they're looking for likes, and then if they don't get the likes, they're stressed.
Not just young girl, boys and old men like me too. Right? It's very common.
Yeah, but it's different, right? An old man like you has been through a lot, and then you can disconnect from it, right?
Okay,
They think that's their reality.
For
Yeah.
girls, I want to say for girls in particular, okay? I mean, this has always been an issue that, you know, we are image. We look at other girls and compare and look at our image, right? So social media has full-blown blasted that. You know, you're always looking at magnify it to the extreme to where it's very hard for a girl now today to find out what she likes and not like, you know, as far as her looks, how she want to dress. You know, it's very hard and it's very stressful because, you know, all these girls are like almost anorexic now. They don't eat, you know, and you know, and Hung Dao really, when I was younger, Hung Dao really helped me, you know, appreciate, you know, just my body, you know. So I do want to, but you know, like Kwa said, in yourself, we keep on forgetting like the basic is also like image, you know, for a kid. I'm pretty sure boys have that issue too, but girls just projected up more, you know. It can lead to suicide. I've had girls call me and, you know, tell me they want to suicide before.
Yeah.
They cut themselves.
You know?
Right? They hurt
Yeah,
themselves.
they, you know, so Hung Dao and especially leaders, you know, mình nói đó as a you know, a friend to them, you know. So just want to put that.
And it's a healthy environment.
Yes,
right?
it's a healthy
environment.
Yeah.
Right. And when they go, right, and in the patrol system, you know, the human interaction is one thing, but the bonding is important. Right.
Yeah.
And they feel like they belong. They belong to a group of peers.
Yeah, and you know, like when you're in a camp with a whole bunch of girls and when they're sleeping, the hair is messy and they don't have makeup on, that we all look ugly alike. It's very healing. I don't know how to explain it. It's very healing because we don't care. We don't care how we look. We're at camp. Who cares? You know, my hair is this way, yours is too. We'll just braid it and call it a day, you know? So yeah, so in a way, camping does help the image because we're all the same at that point, and it's just all.
Yeah, so you
The
strip
uniform,
away,
right?
yeah,
The
you strip
uniform
away
makes us
that-
all
Yeah,
the same, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, so I'm 100% believe in Hung Dao Vietnam when it comes to relieve stress, right, for the child, or let the child manage stress correctly, right? Matter of fact, you know, we do this because our children would have friends inside Hung Dao that does something healthy, like campings and interact with other people, right? So, you know, that helps stress within yourself. I'm excited to talk about the spiritual next week, but talking about stress, right? This video, right, on YouTube, you guys need to click like and share so that we can get a little bit more headway to promote our movement.
Yeah. If you like what we do, you know, then share us, right, and subscribe.
Hey, you don't
Okay.
have to like to click like, just click like, you know. So
Or he will get stressed.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, we do this because we want to promote the method of Hung Dao Vietnam for the Vietnamese community in America, and we really believe in the method. So, you know, we're doing the podcast for that only reason, right?
Mhm. Yeah. So yes, so yeah, when you go camping, when you go outdoor, right, you're going to be exercising your physical dimension, right? You have the emotional, all your friends around you, so you have an emotional connection. You get mental challenges because you have to solve problems out in the environment, right? But then at some time, yeah, as leaders, we also have to remind them, hey, look, we're in nature, right? We have to stop and be present, be there in nature, and then you will have a chance to connect spiritually, right? And so we have some Twin Hill, okay, that we're going to talk about next week, right? So we're promoting next week's podcast here also. That we have some techniques, okay, that we are going to teach the Hung Dao Sing to help them experience what spirituality is, right? So experience, you know the divinity, right? Whichever religion you may be, okay. So we think that, you know, it's one of the cornerstone of being a complete human being.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
BP said that, you know, the Scout Law, Scout Oath will help with your character development, right? Your journey to become a good person. But in the end, you have to find your spiritual guidance to complete your training, right? The Scout can only get you to point A to point B, from point C and B to C, right? That's your spiritual learning, right? And we want to introduce the child to get to that stage as fast as possible, right? It's a spiritual learning.
Okay, so I think that's it for tonight. Okay, so we talk about what is character. Okay, why, right? Why character is important. especially in today's society, you know, where robots popping up everywhere, AI popping up everywhere. The human touch is more important than ever, right? It's more important, more value than ever, right? Because if the AI is doing a lot of the mechanical work, right, then the human emotional and spiritual tasks are more important than ever.
Well, I know we get along. I want to share something because I'm a parent with teenagers. They use this app called Discord. Discord meaning to cut, right? Discord, right? And in this particular app, they want to disconnect from reality. Okay? It's a chatting app. It's just a chat format. They chat among their friends. But when they create what I call a server, which is like a room, a chat room, they have a bot, which is an AI monitoring them, encourage them to use the app more often so they get point, they get level. Okay? But the name of the app, communication app, is called Discord. It broke my heart. Whoever invented this is me.
Is it Discord or Disconnect?
Disconnect.
Yeah.
Or was it Discord? Hold on. I downloaded it. I haven't set up one yet. Let me check.
So it's kind of
It's Discord. CORD.
Discord. Okay.
Discord, right?
Okay.
And each room or server, they call it, has a bot. It's an AI. Encourage the kids to communicate more, right? And it kind of broke my heart because I see the way the kid communicate inside text, right? Because and it's like, it's not even human. They're not even communicating complete sentences, right? It doesn't even make sense what they wrote most of the time, right? But they have to do it so that they can get point to the next level. The point I'm sharing this with you is technology like this that kid addicted it and hooked to it. I don't think it's good for them, but I can't stop them from not using it because all their friends are on it. And so the way that we stop them from using it is we take them camping, right? We take them to activities. They don't have time to be on a smartphone chatting with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
We want them to have a real human relationship.
That's right. Right. And that's the way that we kind of disconnect. Now, the Scout friends are on there too. They create a patrol name in that thing and they discuss about what you need to do. So there's some good to it, right? But we have to limit that by doing real stuff outdoor, not just with the smartphone among themselves, right? So parent, be
We have
careful.
to balance it. We have to balance it.
It's really hard to be a parent nowadays. I feel for you, Kwa. I don't know how you guys do it because there's just so much social media now and you can't keep up. That you just can't keep up.
Yeah, you shut one app down and another one pops up.
And
Exactly.
I do use the Scout Law not to like vui tươi trong lúc khó khăn. I don't get stressed when they do something new. I'll try to adapt to them and try to learn it, right? And hope to guide them out of it without telling them they can't use it, right? Most parent, for me anyway, my son friend asked, how do you measure an iPhone? And my son said, my dad made me have one. So I preempt it. I know he's going to ask for it. He's a teenager. Eventually he's going to ask for it. So I give him before he asks for it, right? And so now he don't care to have it, right? Because I kind of play the trick on him. So the point I'm making is that sometimes you can't stop what the child will want. You just hope you one step ahead of them. You hope you one step ahead of them, right? And I don't think I am, but anyway, look the parent out there, you know.
Okay, so let's wrap up tonight. Okay, mấy trưởng chào thính giả của chúng ta đi.
Yeah.
Hi, Ochinkang signing off.
Okay, like that. We'll see you. The next one. Next one I love. Spiritual. This is gonna be a good one. Okay.
Chào các trưởng. Hoàng Yến Tần Tâm.
Vâng, và đây là Boy Vui Vẻ signing off from Mang Lửa Về Tim podcast, episode 7. Episode 7. Okay, thank you everybody. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah, bye.